All right, it is 10 o'clock and we will go ahead and get started. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the very first District 44 Pathways Action Academy workshop. We're really happy that you joined us this morning. The purpose of this workshop is to walk you through pathways. We know how daunting pathways can be, and this year we really want to focus on making sure that our members feel good about pathways. We want you all to be able to navigate through pathways just like you do your cell phone, like second nature. And so by the end of this 5-course workshop, you will be able to do just that. With that being said, I am going to turn this meeting over. Wait, before I do that, a few housekeeping rules. Please make sure that your microphone is muted at all times. There will be an opportunity for you to ask questions. Feel free to use the chat box to place a question in the chat. We will have someone monitoring that chat box to get those questions responded to. If you have a question, use the raise hand feature. Other than that, again, please keep your phones on mute at all times. Now, with that being said, I will turn it over to our Pathways Chair, LaTanya McLean.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. It's so wonderful to be here for level 1 training. Let's get started. Myra's coming in. There we go. Our vision this year is to help you reach your goals. What is your vision? Why did you join Toastmasters to improve your speaking? We want to help you maximize how you use pathways in order to get the most benefit and value out of our professional and personal lives as we are all evolving together. So what is Pathways? Pathways is the system that stores, tracks, and measures all of our efforts and on our journey to complete all 5 levels within our path. How do we get started? Well, we want to go ahead and log in and then enter your member ID or email and put your password in. You can access how to choose a path one of 2 ways. You can go through the welcome menu, or once you're on the main page, go through the educational programs menu, pathways tab, then scroll down to go to the base camp. So what that looks like is this: option 1, click on your name, then profile, then choose a path. Or once you're on the main page, choose education programs, pathways. They just changed this. I know I did another video and I said click on pathways, but just last week it's been updated. That's what Toastmasters International is constantly doing, always updating our programs, so we are up to date. So go to pathways, go ahead and admit. Then you're on your pathways page within the educational programs page. Scroll down and choose your path. That's step 4. Select your language and how you want to receive your materials. You want to choose your path in one of 2 ways. You can eyeball it, view it, and select which one looks good to you. Or you can take the assessment, get some help in answering some questions and seeing what Toastmasters would choose for you. At the end of that assessment, you still can choose the path you want to take. They will only be recommendations. Your path will then, selected path will show up on the Paths and Learning page of Basecamp. You can open up your transcript, then open up the curriculum that you've chosen, and then get to your levels of your path. Today, we're going to be working on level 1. Mastering the fundamentals. Here's what level 1 looks like and the entire path. So on your left, let's say your path is engaging humor. You want to focus on being more interactive with the audience, etc. That's the path you've chosen. There are 5 levels, and then select path completion when you're done. So the 5 levels make up the entire path that you've chosen. You know you're on level 1 or whatever level you're on by the blue bar on the left and the circle in the middle next to the level. In this case, we're on level 1. There is a percentage here because you just got started, 0% done. That's okay. We're going to change it in a minute. Level 1 is to your right, engaging humor. Then you have your projects, such as the icebreaker and evaluation and feedback section. You will launch it and activate it and move forward in your project. Now, the key to optimizing your path is to learn project objectives that are in Toastmasters of the path you selected, and then match those project objectives across the levels that you have with work activities, home activities, and what you're doing in the community. You want to apply your mock scenarios or real life scenarios to your projects. You will receive credit for the work you're already doing in and outside of Toastmasters. So the project objectives provide structure in order for you to explore the ideas you may have you want to do. It also encourages you to go beyond your comfort zone of fear. And also, it invites you to offer extend an opportunity for your fellow Toastmasters to work with you, support you in the projects that you're doing, because in return, you will help your fellow Toastmasters do the same. So let's see an example of what possible projects you can do here, possible that you can use your projects to do. You have been assigned a new responsibility at work to invigorate your team since the pandemic has caused such a low morale. You must integrate new technologies that allow for hybrid work. Apply your work objective to your Toastmasters project and receive credit. Let's say this person has chosen motivational strategies. So their path is motivational strategies. Their work objectives is to boost the team morale. But your Toastmasters project, level 1, offers you 4 opportunities to speak on that topic beyond the icebreaker. So, for example, you may choose motivation, courage, and teamwork as your topic themes. They're going to be 5 to 7 minutes, and you can apply those topics to level 1, write a speech with a purpose, or level 1, evaluation and feedback, your first speech. And you can give it any title you want. I gave level 1, writing a speech with a purpose, a team of dreamers. Doesn't matter the title, just make sure the content is on point with motivation, courage, and teamwork. Same thing with your first speech. Schedule your success. Get on the agenda. You want to check your calendar to see what you have available and when you can speak. What is your availability to speak at the club or any club around the world? Sign up for a role or a speech role. You can receive credit for 2 roles per minute, meaning one has to be a communication project and the other is a leadership role in the meeting. So, what does that look like? So, basically, you know about Toastmaster of the Day, General Evaluator, Table Topics Master, Counter. All of the roles are crucial to running a meeting. You pick one of the meeting roles, and you can also be on the agenda to speak. So you get 2 credits in one meeting, or you can just do one or the other per meeting. It is up to you. This is a self development program. Now, when you get to the active listening project, I just wanted to point out that this is so fabulous because it really represents the Table Topics Master Project. It is the Table Topics Master Project, and you can be the Table Topics Master and make sure you read the instructions on what you're supposed to do as a Table Topics Master and get credit. So even though it's not a speech, it is a project under your path, and you can get credit for completing active listening project as it is known, and you can get credit for being the Table Topics Master of the Day. So I'll show you that where you post that in a second. Did you know that all 11 paths contain the same projects for level 1? So let me clarify that and quantify that. So before October 27th of 2021, all the level 1s look just alike. And then they made another update. So now all of those level 1s after the 27th of October look just alike. And guess what? If you had a path from before you didn't finish, and then you added another path, you're going to have both versions of the level 1s that are out there. But overall, there's essentially the same, just a couple of changes for everyone, for all the paths across the board. And then you have 3 projects within the evaluation and feedback section of level 1. So here's what the new version looks like. I showed you the old version a minute ago. There are 7 items or task items that you need to complete. So right here it says 5. I don't know why. I didn't develop it. I'm not going to submit a query to fix it. All I want to do is make sure you know what to do. So there are total 7 items, and I'll explain how. The icebreaker counts as 1. Writing with a speech with a purpose is 2. Vocal variety and body language is 3. Again, we just found out there are 3 under here. You have to be an evaluator, and you get an opportunity to do 2 speeches under this project. So that's a total of 6 so far, and then submit it for completion. That's 7 items. You know what? Maybe my math skills are off. I wasn't the best at math, so maybe I'm wrong. What do you expect to see in level 1 if you have not gotten started? And if you have gotten started in level 1, what's ahead of you before you get a chance to complete it? So let me tell you what I think. I think it is the basic mechanics of public speaking. Why? Because I've been through 2 of the level 1s. I know. I've been through them. Story development, storytelling mechanics, body gestures, vocal variety, story mechanics, and effective feedback. Let's talk about the first one, story development. Well, we all know when we're writing our stories, we need to start with the message. What's the message of the story? Start with the end in mind. Then we need to be able to grab the audience's attention with the hook. That's a question you may ask. How many of you, by show of hands, that's your question, fill that in. You can start with a joke or a short story. We all know these things, but we want to put them together in a structure so that our audience knows our story and can follow it fluently. Then we'll insert our Toastmasters greeting, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Or let's say you're in a contest. Well, that changes slightly. Contest master, distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. You want to add your pillars of support, which are your points. Usually we have about 3 points in a 5 to 7 minute speech. And then the segues serve as the invisible movement in the story. They help you segue from one point effectively to the other. And then when you're wrapping up all your story development, your points that you've made in your conclusion, you want to recap those points and then return control back to contest master or Toastmaster of the day. You don't say, oh, thank you very much. Thank y'all for coming. No. Just when you end, say You end with a pause and then return control, Toastmaster, Madam Toastmaster. Body gestures, part of the storytelling mechanics. When you're on stage or when you're sitting in your chair or when you're in your home club, if you're doing your hybrid meeting, where should your hands be? Well, they can be at rest or they can be animated. But there's one thing I definitely want you to remember. Either your hands will distract from the speech or enhance the speech. It's going to be one or the other, okay? Use them with purpose. What about your eyes? Well, you want to hold that gaze 3 to 5 seconds per person so that that person knows that you're talking just to them at that moment. Engage the audience. What about facial movements and distractions from the attention of the audience? So you could rub your face too many times. You may be getting something off of your face, but it may not be a part of the speech, or it could be a part of the story and it belongs there. It depends on how you're telling your story. You can use your body as a prop itself. Mannerisms that you may not know you're doing. That's the purpose of your evaluator in the club. What about the stage presence? Are you working each point of the room, each side of the room? Work the stage and clothing. A lot of people don't pay attention to jewelry. I don't wear a lot of jewelry when I'm talking because it competes with the microphone. It competes with the stage, especially our shoes. If you got on tap shoes, not a good idea. You may want to do soft bottoms or something like that. And if you have on loud sounding shoes, you want to ease, like almost tiptoe, but not tiptoe on your tippy toes, but just kind of glide to the side so that it doesn't make as much noise. So those are the kinds of tips and tricks to public speaking to make sure your audience pays attention to your message and not to the things that you are wearing or what you are doing that may distract from the speech. Now, if you're enhancing it, it's great. What about vocal variety? Are you too loud and projecting your voice so everyone can hear? Or is your voice too soft where only the front row can hear? Are you talking too fast? Or are you going slow enough so everybody can catch it? Or is it too slow where you're putting people to sleep? What about the tone in your voice? Is it a nice tone that enhances your story? Deflection and inflection. We use deflection as we're concluding our story and slowing the rate down to let you know we are concluding or about to segue to another point. Effective feedback. So, when you're building your story as a speaker, you're hoping that the evaluator will catch all the things that you need to improve upon and want to know if your story had the proper structure according to the project objectives. Well, the basics of storytelling is, like we said, the hook, the greeting, and the 3 points in the conclusion. But we are also listening for the clarity of your message. Did the audience engage with you? Were they interacting with you? Did you call on them by show of hands? The evaluator is going to catch all of those things as well as your fellow Toastmasters. They're going to make comments, but she didn't ask to raise the hand. The timer is going to make sure you stay within 5 to 7 minutes, and the counter and grammarian are going to make sure you're lessening your filler words. I know they may not completely be gone, but you want to reduce them as much as possible. The grammarian will check for colorful language and language that's inappropriate or things that you did really, really well or introduced us to. You want to prepare for your success. And the key to that is to know what you need to do before you get to the club meeting and after. So here's a checklist. When you're preparing for your speech, or you didn't prepare for a speech and you came up with a hip pocket speech as you're walking in the door, sign up to be a speaker. Assess your skills before in your project. Your breakout champion will explain to you what that looks like and show you. Activate, launch, and view your assignment. Provide your speech evaluator with your evaluation form or the link so that they can write on the form and provide you the responses. And I can't tell you enough to practice, practice, practice. When you're doing a meeting role before the meeting, you want to go ahead and schedule that meeting, review your responsibilities, and look at the club scripts because that will give you the confidence in conducting the meeting role successfully. So, what do I do after I'm done speaking? Well, here's a checklist. After you're done speaking, do the assessment or the assess skills after in your project. Complete the project assessment. You want to complete the 4 questions and then hit the complete button. Collect all the evaluation forms from the members or comments from the members and the evaluation form from your evaluator. You can either upload it to the ePortfolio and save a copy on the Toastmasters website, or you can save it to your hard drive. And the beauty about the ePortfolio, I think, is that it's stored there when maybe your computer crashes. So it's a safety measure on both ends. You have it on your copy, they have it in their file. But if you have to be, you got to stay a member to have access to it. So be aware of that. Make sure you have your own copy. Sign up to be a future speaker at the next meeting or alternate meetings. So this time, for example, you'll be the Toastmaster of the day and you don't feel like speaking today. No problem. You could be a speaker next time or the meeting after that. The goal is to get it scheduled. Update your pathways tracking form. We'll drop that in the chat here when we get to the Q&A section. And then update your Basecamp profile for the meeting role that you finish. And then also update your pathways tracking form. So you're going to launch a project. Your modules will be displayed. You have the buttons here, the back button and the next button and the chevron button here that allows you to move forward. You're going to view your assignment and again, move forward. Navigate through the project. When it's red, it's going to be red and blue, but when it's blue, I should say, when it's blue, that's how you know you're on that particular screen or page for the topic that you're discussing or they're discussing or showing you. Here's your before assessment. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions. And you'll choose next, 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 and then the chevron button to move forward the page. Here's your evaluation resources that you can provide your evaluator before you go to the meeting. And here's what the evaluation form looks like up close. And there is a second page. A lot of people are skipping the second page. This talks about clarity, vocal variety, eye contact, etc. per project. And then when you're done, of course, you're going to finish that same assessment, but this will give you an opportunity to score yourself a little differently if you've learned what it is that you were learning in that project. Next, next, next. And then once you get to the end of next, submit, and then click the chevron to move your screen forward. And boom, you're done. Congratulations, you completed your project. So fabulous. I'm so happy for you. You can upload it here to your ePortfolio under documents, and then level 1's listed, level 2, etc. And you can solicit feedback. Say, hey, how did you think I did, in the speech or the story? You can put what you'd like to hear, your feedback requests, like, I'd like to get your thoughts on what you thought I did on the speech. Give me your feedback, select who you want to respond, and hit post. When you're updating your meeting role, you want to go into your Basecamp under your profile. You're going to see your face there, or if you have uploaded a picture. And then you're going to drop down to the additional information down here. Go to my account, or you can hit the gear button up at the top here. Either way will get you into edit mode. It will get you into edit mode so you can update all counter, general evaluator, grammarian, all of these roles here. You'll be able to mark complete once you're done with all your projects, and it will move the status to pending completion approval. Once your Basecamp manager approves it in Basecamp, the status will change to completed. You will be able to see your certificate at that time. So what does that look like? So you've completed level 1, 100% completed. All items are done. They say 5, I say 7. They're right. Okay. You'll get your check marks here if you've updated your Basecamp profile. The feedback section here includes the evaluator. So don't forget to do that. So you can get your check marks. You're 34% completed because there were 7, 5 items under there. And it doesn't divide equally into 100% from, 5 into 100% doesn't divide equally because there are different amounts of projects in each level. Level 1 has the most. So you'll do that, view your certificate when it's done. You can add it to your tracking form. I'm done. Your Basecamp manager again will approve and submit it in, approve it in Basecamp and submit in Club Central. So no credit is going to the DCP program or your Distinguished Club program. You won't get credit in the club unless the VPE, your Vice President of Education, submits it in Club Central. So you have to do both steps, Basecamp managers. Basecamp approval, then Club Central. The member will receive the email saying, hey, congratulations, you completed your level 1, and you'll get that email. And then once Club Central is done, it's submitted in Club Central, you'll get another email that says, congratulations, you completed level 1. You can then go and view and print your certificates for your record. Congratulations. Hit the print button. You will see your badge of achievement. You will see level 1. Now there's a little 2 here because I've completed 2 level 1s in different fiscal years, 2 level 2s, 2 level 3s. In other words, I've completed a whole path. It's because you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when you complete the Pathways Mentor Program, that's there. When you complete your path, that's there. When you award a badge, that's there. So these are your badges you see under my badges. Where are they then, Tanya? Those are yours, but where are mine? Where you can go under my badges. Okay. And then you will be able to see them. If you want to award a badge, you can put a person's name in there that's in your club. This is only in your club. I would love some badges, but you're not in my club. So that's okay. You find that person's name. You click search and then select on them here. And then put your feedback. And then there's a little medallion right here, a little picture. I hope you can see it. And then click that and the badges pop up. You can select one of them. Innovation, you were courageous, etc. Post, and you're done. So what's the benefit of the award completion? Well, you and your club both benefit when you complete levels, your DTMs, and the Pathway Mentor programs. Club Central processes and tracks the completed levels and DTM awards, as well as the Pathway Mentor programs. The process levels in DTM are awards are applied to the DCP for points towards the Distinguished Club program. And the Pathways Mentor program counts as an award towards the district incentives. Hope you can see that. So let's say you completed a level 1 and a level 2. And then after your level 2, you've had time to complete your Pathways Mentor program because that takes 6 months. That can help you get your triple crown. 3 awards completed. Okay. Now, what's the DCP? What's that thing Tanya's talking about? Well, the Distinguished Club program helps you, your club receive their points towards distinction. So let's start here. The highest distinction for the club recognition is President's Distinguished. with 9 points. If you get 7 points, which is also great, is select distinguished. But we're trying to get every club at least distinguished with 5 points. Now, you also have to have membership. Our base membership was 20. Toastmasters requires us to have 20. See, right here, required. Or a net growth of 5 new members. Now, I heard this year they reduced the 5 to 3. So get your 3 members in before the end of April 30 dues and get that base number up plus the 3, you're good to go. Okay. So to date, this shows how many members per club that's in your club. So if you look at your DCP, this is a DCP. If you look at your club's DCP, you'll see how many is in your base from last year, how many you have this year. Okay. Now you still see 0 over here because there are no educational awards completed. They're work in progress. We have 1 towards the good. We have of level 1, we have 1 towards the good in level 2. But we need 1 more level 2 and 3 more level 1s. 2 level 2s are needed, 2 level 3s are needed, 1 level 4, another level 4, 5, or a DTM. Now here, you have 1 member to the good, but we need a total of 4 for this point here. So we need a total of 8 new members, really. So you need 4 here. 4 here is what's needed. These are the goals. And this is what we have. Okay, so there on your left 6 goals for the education officer in your club. So your VPE, Vice President of Education, is responsible for helping its members achieve these 6 points. Your Vice President of Membership, VPM, is responsible in asking you for help as members to get 8 members into the club or retain those 20 members. Okay. All officers are responsible for going to training. Those are half points here and a half point November through February. All right. So 3 officers went to training. They did makeup training, so this report is not updated. So we should have 7. And then the membership should be submitted on time at each turn. And then the club officers list is usually submitted somewhere in June for the next year. So let's take a look at it a little more closely. So the VPE, which is, I think, one of the higher points or the most work or the most points is what I'm trying to say. 6 out of 9 minimum points. There are 10 possible points, but you just get 9. You can be president distinguished. The VPE, Vice President of Education, is responsible for 6. That's a lot. We got to get started. We got to go as quickly as possible, strategically as possible. So we want to make sure you understand as a member, stick to your plan of why you joined the Toastmasters. You want to improve your speaking? Well, then speak. Get on that schedule twice a month at least. Or if you don't have a club that meets more than that, find another club. You're a member of one club. Guess what? That membership goes all the way around the world. Hey, I'm going to be up in New York. Can I get on your agenda? Sure. You know, everybody's lacking speakers, right? Get on their agenda. Get your speech done. It goes towards your home club. Okay. We need 4 people to complete level 1 for 1 point. 2 to complete level 2 for 1 point. 2 more members to complete and level up and complete your level 2 for 1 more point. 2 more members to go ahead and push forward to complete levels 3 for 1 more point. 1 member to complete levels 4 or 5 or get your DTM for 1 point. And we need 1 more person to do the same thing. Okay, I just wanted to reiterate that. I wasn't sure if you could read that other small writing. So let's talk about that DCP a little bit more. Here's an example. Let's say your membership of 1 club. It's a single membership. It's just 1 membership. Our fiscal year is July 1 to June 30th. Your home club is ABC Toastmasters. You have 2 paths, presentation mastery, and you've completed levels 1 and 2. You also have a second path, motivational strategies, and you really have completed level 1 in that path. So, but what's the rule? The rule is, according to the DCP credit, you can only submit and receive credit to the club for one level type at a time per year per club. So you finish 2 levels, 2 level 1s and a level 2 with 1 club membership. My suggestion is do not submit that one to Club Central. Do not submit to Club Central. I wouldn't even push it through base camp, but it won't go anywhere after base camp approval. It just moves you through the paths and allows you to complete other levels in base camp. But I would wait till July 1 of the following year to push this one through. You can do any of your projects in any of your levels, and you can complete that one, but wait till next fiscal year to submit it. If it's submitted by mistake by your base camp manager, you, the member, cannot submit it. Your base camp manager is the one that's submitting it, and you're telling the base camp manager, I'm done. But you need to know not to push it through until the next fiscal year, because Toastmasters International is not giving it back. They're not undoing the mistake. So we just want you to be aware you can complete any of your projects, but just be strategic in helping your club reach distinction by what you are pushing through as far as the levels go. So you may do any of them. I hope that's clear. We're going to get clearer as we go along. Hopefully this helps to clear up things too. Let's say you're a dual member. Again, July 1, June 30 fiscal year. Club 1, ABC Toastmasters. Presentation, you still have 2 paths, presentation mastery and motivational strategies. You've completed levels 1 and 2 in presentation mastery, and you've completed level 1 in motivational strategies. You can assign any of your levels to any of your clubs. Yes, you can assign any level to any of your 2 clubs. Okay, all paths, the whole path of presentation mastery does not have to go to ABC Toastmasters. You can split the levels up and award credit or assign your credit. It takes communicating to your base camp manager what your desires are. Here's the rule. For DCP club credit, it is limited to 1 level type, like a level 1 or a level 2 per club, per person, per year. Per person, per club, per year. Okay. You can assign or give the first level 1 of your first path to your ABC Toastmasters Club for their level 1 DCP credit. You can then turn around and assign the first level 2, because remember you have 2 paths. So that means 2 level 1s, 2 level 2s, 2 level 3s, etc. So you're still on your path 1, still dealing with ABC Toastmasters, and you're going to give level 2 to ABC Toastmasters, so they'll have DCP credit. So this year, this is dual members. You can use your level 1 in your second path this year in the same fiscal year, because it is going to a different club. So we set up here the rule per club, right? Per year, right? So assign second level 1, path 2, which is the motivational strategies, to your XYZ Toastmasters Club, so they can also receive your level 1 credit. I really hope that made sense to you. So we went over the 1 point each as far as membership for 4 new members, 4 more members, and then a half point when at least 4 officers trained June to August. We've already gotten that point for all our clubs in District 44. And then if we have 4 minimum, And then we're going to shoot for at least 4 next time, which is November to February. Usually in January, raw to have that answer. Okay. We'd like for all 7 to be trained because after all, you're learning about communication and leadership. That's just a part of the program, a part of the learning development, right? So you want as much training that Toastmasters has to provide. And of course, the treasurer will be submitting the dues on time twice a year, get a half a point, and the secretary in your club will submit the officers list in the June the year before the fiscal July 1 for credit for the next year. Here are the incentives for Pathways this year. You can get a Pathways Achiever or an Explorer if you're a new member. Or if you're an existing member, you can get a Pathways Star or be a Pathways Falcon. You don't get one, you are that. Okay, sorry about that. Complete a minimum of 3 levels in a single path and attend a Pathways Action Academy workshop by February 28th, 2023, where we are having 5 of those workshops. So I'm sure, and you're in this one, so that counts as one. You'll receive a Pathways medallion and a ribbon. Complete a Pathways path, a whole path, which means it's 5 levels in one path, and attend a Pathways Actions Academy workshop by June 30th, 2023. You'll get a t-shirt and a medallion. And a ribbon too? Okay, great. If you're an existing member who joined prior to July 1, complete a path and attend an Action Academy, you'll get a medallion and a ribbon, and you'll be that Falcon, that Pathways Falcon. You complete a path, attend an Pathways Action Academy workshop, you'll receive a Pathways medallion, ribbon, and t-shirt. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Listen, if you have any questions, let us know, or want to be a part of Pathways Champions, let us know. I'm issuing a challenge right now for you to become a champion, Pathways champion of your home club. You don't have to know what I know. I'm here to help you learn. You come and you want to know more and be a champion of your home club and help us spread this awesome message of how to increase our usage of Pathways. Let us know at Pathways at D44Toastmasters.org. And I wanted to reach out and thank our champions that have helped us get this far. Thank you so much, Pathways champion. Thank you so much, fellow Toastmasters of District 44. And thank you, our Pathways, our program quality director. And back to you, Rod. Any questions? Can you hear me? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can. Yeah. Hey.
I was on mute, of course.
Okay. Okay. Well, what's the juicy stuff you were saying? I didn't hear it. I thought it was me. It's not you. It's me. No.
There's a question in the chat. Can you speak to how the other workshops will work and who should attend those?
They will work similarly to this one. Basically today, what we're going to be doing after we do our Q&A is we're going to do breakout sessions to walk through level 1 with you. However many people are in this chat, we have several people in the chat, on as participants. We're going to split you up and you're going to have a champion in your breakout session. Each of our level training will have the same in this platform on the district level. When we are training individually, let's say to the different clubs, or we may host at the division level, it will be a presentation that is different from this one. This is all about level 1. The next one, all about level 2 and beyond, but before you get to level 3. So I hope I answered that. Did that answer? Whose question was that?
It was mine. This is Elizabeth Allen.
Hey, Elizabeth, did that answer your question?
Sort of. It's probably just me.
Ask it again then. Ask it again. Maybe I misunderstood.
So basically, I am in level 1. So I'm here today would it help for me to go to 2 and 3 and beyond, or?
Sure. I'll tell you why. Oh, go ahead, finish. You said or.
That's it. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, okay, this is me. I like to know, everybody says a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm the type of person that run down to the end of the light and kind of look around the tunnel and see what's over there and then come back at the beginning. So I like to be able to see everything at an overview so I'll know what I'm walking into. What do I need to prepare for? That's me. If you want to just take it one step at a time, like this, I'm just a little baby step, okay? Like a little Tim Conway moment, like boom, boom, boom. All right, I'm good right here. You could do that too. It's a self-development process. It's a self-paced process. I would advise, if you're level 1 and are you a new Toastmaster as well, Elizabeth?
Yes,
Okay, yeah, you just stay right. Are you an officer?
I am.
Well, yeah, go ahead and skip forward.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll tell you why. It's because you've already started level 5. How many of you, by show of hands on the little icon thingy, whatnot, that you are an officer? Do this raise a hand thing so I can see the raise hand things. Let's go over here. Okay, so there are several of you. Okay, so of these officers that had just raised their hands, thank you. Of these officers, how many of you are still on level 1? Keep your hands up, or if not, lower your hands. You're still on level 1 or levels 1 and 2. Okay, so that's about 4 or 5 right there. Okay, a couple over here. Okay, so how many of you, lower your hands, how many of you knew that you were already working on level 5 elective? Show of hands. How many of you knew you were already started that? Okay, a couple of people. Okay, Leah, is it Lejean? She disappeared.
It's on.
Okay.
I'm here. It's LaJean. I lowered my hand.
It's like, you don't want to talk to me. That's okay. So basically, why that is, to answer that question, well, the elective possibility, if you choose it, actually, I don't know why you wouldn't, because it's there and you're already doing it, is called leading in a volunteer organization. You're an officer, so you're leading in a volunteer organization. Now you can use that project also if you're in a different nonprofit organization. How many of you are leading in a different organization that's a nonprofit, by show of hands? Do the show of hands thing so I could quickly see. You're in another organization outside of Toastmasters. Okay, well, maybe those people are not on this call. If you were, you can also use that opportunity and match that project to your level 5 elective, leading in a volunteer organization. And then it depends on the path that you have. It's mandatory that you lead in any situation. And I want to say that's leadership development. Lena, is that leadership development? Fran, maybe Fran or Lena knows.
Oh, which one are you talking about?
Lead in any situation. Lead in any situation.
I believe lead
Okay.
situation.
I just thought you knew it off the top of your head. But yeah, so if you're doing either of those, you're already
dynamic leadership.
Dynamic lead. I knew it had a leadership in it. It was either leadership development or dynamic leadership. It's leading. It's leading any situation and leading in a volunteer organization. You've already started level 5. To answer your question, I would look at every training, because you never know what you're preparing for. I'll give you another one that's coming up, is the Pathways Mentor Program. Once you get through the hardest part, which is level 1, and it's not really that hard. It's just that you probably hadn't written your stories yet, and you got to write them, and then you got to practice them. That's the hardest part, right? Practice, and after you write it, that's it. Just practice through the week and you're good to go. The rest of them are like 2-3 projects in level 2, and then you're off to the Pathways Mentor Program. It comes up very quickly. So yes, I would go to the next training. And then if you're active listening for Table Topics Master, that's in level 3. I wouldn't miss a training, but then that's me. That's me. So you can pull, mix, match, jump around, Depends on what you got going on at work, home, in your community. You can use all of these things in your life and just drop them right across the entire path. Did that clear it up?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Thank you. What was the other question?
That was the only question that I saw
Okay.
in the chat. But thank you. And yes, I'm going to encourage everyone to attend each one. I just think it helps. The more people we have engaged in pathways in our clubs, the better, especially club officers. We've descended into this realm where people are just giving speeches and doing table topics only meetings. And so we want to move away from that and get back to what our education program is about. I see Ann's hand raised.
Yeah, I
Ann,
see Ann.
take yourself off mute.
Okay, that was the hard part. So the question
I know,
that
right?
I have is, as the VP of Education where I'm at, I am still a little confused as to how members mark off that they've completed their work and that I'm signaled that it needs to be checked off or authorized by me so that it goes to international. If you could just step through that one more time, please.
So let me get clear on the question. So did you come from the legacy program?
No, I did not, but
Okay.
several members in the club have been.
No problem. No problem. So we have a pathways tracking form. And the last tab is called, I think, Fran is example. And that accommodates multiple people that you can list in the club that has done level 1, project 1, level 1, project 3, or meeting role evaluator. Did you ever receive the pathways tracking form? Because the way we used to track it before, still pen to pad, right? We're jotting down who did what from the minutes or the meeting. And if you didn't attend them all, thank God for the secretary, right? Because you get the minutes. That's the role of the secretary. Oh, we're so grateful for you all. Bow down to you. Because as a VPE myself, and for the last 16 years, 6 officially and 10 unofficially, because I just can't let it go. It's like, wait, you messing up my president's distinguished. Hold on. I keep my hand right there on the VPE role because I know it's more strategic than anything. One, it's a part of your ability to track, to keep up, aside of there's no reporting in Toastmasters that says, okay, Latanya's done all these little check marks here. It's a self-paced program. We can finish whenever we like. It's no methodology. Now, what it is tracking is the levels of completion. So we're working on the level, right? You can see you're working on it. But when you get to completion of level 1, then you'll be able to see it in the district reports. You know how to get to the district reports, right? What happened to her? She disappeared. Oh, yes. Thanks, Fran. Okay, so let's go back to explain this part. So Carla, Adam, and Bobby running at the top where it says member name at the top. So these are your members in the club. Running down the side, we got level 1, and it has all of the new version of level 1 there because it includes the old version too. The only thing that's added is the row 9 and 10. That's different. The meeting roles are 17 through 25 or 17 through 24. Lists all the meeting roles when they need to be done. By level 1, of course, you know you need to be an evaluator. By level 4, Toastmaster of the day. And I want to say, Fran, and I may have made a mistake and not put that there. I want to say it's either dynamic leadership or leadership development. I think it's dynamic leadership or strategic something or another that says the timer has to be done by level, I think 4. So just make sure all these roles are done. Hey, if you get them done in level 1, you're on track. You have everything licked, okay? And so you can keep track here based on the minutes or based on when you were at the meeting. You can just log each person when they completed everything and then go back and ask them. It is their responsibility to keep up with where they are. And that is a major problem we have in Toastmasters, I think, in my opinion, that people are not keeping up with what they're doing. They're doing what they need to do, but not tracking it. Well, what's the point of credit? You want to get your DCP credit. You want to get your personal credit. I like triple crowns and super achievers because I'm a super achiever. You know, I like getting my swag, my t-shirts. Still got to get my t-shirt, friend. So, but I like getting my pins and ribbons and things of that nature because it makes me feel like I'm making progress. Does this answer part one of your question?
Yes. When I came on as VPE, there was no tracking whatsoever. There was no documentation.
Well, that's typical in all the.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I've got something like this to give to each member so that they can start tracking their own. I'm finding that I'm having to do a little bit of backtracking. I've got somebody that has requested a movement or a completion of one level and wants to start another level, but I don't have any documentation that says that she's completed all of her tasks.
Well, you go to the minutes. The minutes confirm because it confirms the meeting happened. It's a legal document. Just go to the minutes.
That would be great if we had all the minutes.
Oh, that's a a different issue.
The
So
next option might be the agenda.
Yeah.
Go back to old agenda.
Yeah, there are some holes because she started the project or the level 2 years ago. And so has been working on level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5 over the last 4 years, not in any order. And now, yeah, so, we'll work it out. That's fine. I don't want to take anybody's time up with
So I
that.
wanted to also clear something up. Angela says I saw your message, Angela, that you receive a notification. We all, as base camp managers, will receive, well, mainly, the main base camp managers will receive notification once a person completes the level. That member can go search their email and look for an email from education program, I believe. Just kind of use that in quotes, and then put that in your email to search. And then they can pull up what levels have been completed. Now, those are levels. What she was talking about was projects and levels. And what I'm addressing is the project itself at the minuscule level here, at the very beginning. How do we know the icebreaker was completed if you didn't go to the meeting, right? As a base camp manager, where we're relying on our fellow Toastmasters. You remember her giving the speech? Did she give the speech? Yeah, it was so good too. Yeah, and then get into go left field and get into the whole conversation about the speech. Well, we know she did the speech. Most of this is an honor system, right? If she's saying she did that one, we're taking her at her word. She did it. We're trying to find proof and back it up so we feel comfortable as base camp managers pushing them through. But we're not pushing through projects. We're only pushing through as base camp managers levels. We're pushing through levels, not projects. So it's going to take the whole 6 projects in level 1 to complete level 1 level 1. That makes sense? She disappeared off my screen. Which weird.
Yes, and so just to kind of to recap that response, there is a notification that goes to the base camp manager once a member completes their level, and so that's an indication that you can move forward with adding that education award into World Headquarters system. And then of course, you have your member tracking it, or the member should be tracking it. And as VPE, you should also, and this goes to all of my VPEs, you should know before your members know when they're completing a project, because you will be keeping track of that. It's really important for you all, especially as you look at your your areas, or excuse me, your club success plan to identify what members you're going to target to help you reach your goal. So you should know who those members are ahead of time as well. So just remember to make sure you're tracking that.
We have one last question. M. Cully, you're on mute. Yeah, I know people are using Toast Host, free Toast Host, and that keeps track as well, but only if your club is using it. And our club is not. Our club voted to stop using it because I don't know why, a long time ago.
It's a powerful tool.
It is a powerful tool, but somebody got to use it though.
All right, next question.
I have actually two questions that are unrelated. My first question is, I'm VPE for my club, and I've gone on Toastmasters International to, I guess, register as base camp manager. And I keep getting a message that says I have to disable pop-ups. And that seems to be a real basic thing, but I've tried to do that and I cannot. I don't know if that is a computer issue that I have or if anybody else has run into that.
So usually you have to go into your security on your in the security where you're under the settings on your, like when you go search for, like, I want to go get something to eat, right? And your browser, yes. And when you go to your internet browser, there's settings for security, and then you want to add the website for Toastmasters in the trusted sites. So
Okay.
yeah, somebody more technical is gonna have to help you with that.
I
but that's
think
about-
so too.
Yeah. Walk
Yeah.
you through that process. Hopefully
Yeah.
you get a person that's really technical in your champion meeting to help you.
I think I'll have to do that. My second question is, Rod, I heard you say we need to get back to something more than just giving speeches and giving table topics speeches. What did you mean by that?
So what I meant by that is I visited a lot of clubs, and I've actually heard from a lot of VPEs where the members aren't necessarily as comfortable in pathways as they should be.
Right.
And so they're giving speeches that don't necessarily apply to their pathways.
Yeah.
path.
Okay.
And
Got
then
it.
where you also have clubs who are just having table topics only meetings where there's no one giving speeches, just
Ugh.
table topics for the whole meeting.
Okay.
So we want to get away from that because, table topics is great, but that's not the hallmark of what we do. Pathway
Right.
is really the hallmark of our education program. So we want to make sure that we're using it. And so that's why we're doing these workshops to help people be more comfortable with navigating a pathway.
Okay. And would a pathways champion come to our club to talk to us about that?
So Pathways Champions, the ambassadors went around the state when we first migrated. Okay, they got gas money and allowances and stuff to do that. We don't have a budget for that. So we're virtual. Thank goodness we're virtual.
Okay.
And so we can get to as many more clubs versus getting in a car, getting there,
Got it.
trying to get there, So, and we don't have as many ambassadors. Now we're champions. We don't have as many champions that did it the last time. Okay. So we're virtual. And if you want to get something scheduled, we'll get something scheduled and get a champion virtually to you.
I really do. I'll do that. Thank you.
And I wanted to address something else before you go. You said sign up for a base camp manager. You don't sign up for a base camp manager on Toastmasters. You are a base camp manager when you become an officer, as a president, a vice president of education, or a secretary. Boom, automatically designates you as the base camp manager. So
Yeah.
when you say you were signing up for it and you got the pop-up messages, I was a little confused about those two pieces together because
No
they don't.
kidding.
So they, like, one's automatic and then one's like, well, what were you doing? And it's usually because of the trusted site situation.
Okay.
But somebody more technical can help you with that,
Okay.
hopefully.
I think she was implying signing in as base camp manager.
Are you an officer of the club?
VPE
Okay, so you were just signing in.
signing in.
Oh, I thought you said signing up for the
Well,
base camp manager.
whatever.
Oh, what? No, it's not whatever. I
Okay.
misunderstood.
Signing
I
in,
just want to make sure you're
Tanya.
good to go. Okay. I was like, how do you sign up for a base camp? No, I totally went left field with that one. Okay, great. All questions have been answered. Thank you so much for your question. Thank you so much for all your questions. Again, I challenge you to volunteer. If you're interested in volunteering, I would encourage you to put it in the chat real quick to say, I am a champion. If you're interested in volunteering to become a part of the champions for Pathways to just champion your club, I would encourage you to just start there as a new person or as a seasoned person. Put in the chat real quick, I am a champion, and we'll get to you. We'll definitely reach out to you. Thank you so much. I return control of this meeting to Rod.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, Latanya, for that amazing training and walking everyone through level 1 in Pathways. We will have 4 more of these for each level. The next one for level 2 is next Saturday at this time. But we still have a few minutes with you. So what we're going to do at this moment, I'm going to open up the breakout rooms. There are 5 breakout rooms, and there is a Pathways champion assigned or will be assigned to each of those rooms. And you will have the ability to have a little bit of one-on-one with them and ask more questions. Open up that project that you're working on, walk through that project, get familiar with it. Utilize this time to ask the question to your champion. Also, utilize the group members who are also in your room, maybe as accountability partners, someone that you can work with and encourage and can encourage you to get through these projects and paths effectively and smoothly. So with that being said, I'm going to open up our breakout rooms. Everyone has been automatically assigned to a breakout room. For our ambassadors, our chairs, I will make sure that only one of you is in the room per person. So let's do, all right. So who don't I have? Got Doug in room 1, Fran in room 2, Lena in room 3, Yanni in room 4. So Latanya, I'm going to assign you to room 5.